Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Finding Afford. This is Coach Vic. Just thank you for the opportunity for joining us, remembering to come back into us and allow us an opportunity to continue to strive to be better, to be stronger, to be more present, more available to those around us. And so today we're going to talk about Finding Afford. We're going to talk about the mantle plus your space equals rooms. The mantle plus your space equals room. Plus, operating your mantle in your space gives you room. Operating your mantle in your space gives you room. And I really enjoy the opportunities we've had to be able to come together and learn more about finding your 40, learning about the discovery process, learning about going deep down within and having self-assessment and introspection and using those tools to be able to push us forward and bring us into greater spaces and greater opportunities. And so now today we're going to talk about the mantle. We talked about the mantle, the mind, and the mindset earlier. And if you don't remember that particular video, I'll put it in the description box for you, so you have an opportunity to go back and really begin to see what it is, what we're building from, so you know the opportunities you have before you, and really have an opportunity to know exactly who you are and how to experience the best versions of you, but also to have others experience the better versions of you as well. This is a great opportunity for us to really dig deep into us and know more about who we are. And so in the Bible it tells us that the gifts and callings of God are irrevocable. Many seek the favor of generous men, and every one is a friend to a man who gives gifts. A man's gift makes room for him and brings him before the great. We have to use our gifts and our and abilities to the best of our abilities at all times and at all costs. You know, no matter what happens, no matter what we're doing, no matter who we think we are, no matter what room we're in and who we're in the presence of, we have to remember that we have special abilities that are given specifically for us that bring us to the place of our. We're talking about a mandate, and your mandate is really your purpose for being. It's where you find your vision. It's where you begin to understand who you're meant to be. And we're going to talk about that meant to be here today too. That meant to be because walking in your meant to be gives you more power, gives your presence more power, and gives you more opportunities to operate in your gifts and your talents. Man, this is really great. And we are not ordinary people meant to live out in a mundane or boring everyday life. We're going through this program and through this process because we have more in us than we are using, and we are meant to do more, meant to be more than we are right now. And this is the thing that's so important. When you realize that there's something more about you, that there's something more to you, that there's something more that you need to do, you begin to find out, you begin to push those things out. You want to know more. You want to find out who you're meant to be. You're going to find out what your purpose is, and you have to really get to that place where you really understand who you are. And when you begin to discover that discovery process of who you are, and you begin the discovery process of really beginning to ideate exactly what it is you're meant to do, your purpose, your calling, and you begin to understand your gifts. You begin to discover your mandate that's on your life. You begin to discover the mantle, the thing that is hiding all your toolkit, that's hiding all your gifts and your talents. And you begin to discover those things. You begin to know that there's something more out there that you should be doing. And when you have that pull on you that's dragging you, sometimes it drags you out of bed. Sometimes it forces you out of bed. Sometimes it wakes you up in the middle of the night. But there's always that thing that's telling you that you're meant to be more than what you really are. Some people will say it to you, and it might not reverberate from them as much or as loud as it does from the inside of you. I remember watching The Lion King, and I love The Lion King. I love watching some of the cartoon movies by Pixar and by some of the other filmmakers, because there's such a great storyline behind it. There's always a storyline where the hero has to discover himself. The hero has to discover or has to find a way to move forward, and has to find a way to fight through some things. There's always that internal battle that forces the hero to have to be a hero even to himself. And in the Lion King, Simba had gone off with the warthog and Timon, and he was living out a different life, a life that he wasn't he wasn't accustomed to, but it was also a life that wasn't meant to be for him. Meanwhile, the kingdom, the people that he was supposed to be serving, the people who were supposed to be the king for, the kingdom had dried up. The people had began starving. And they were longing for something that was not there. And it was possessed only in Simba. And then there's this moment when Rafiki, the baboon, I believe it's baboon, brings Simba back to who he is. You know, and he knocks him on the head, and Simba's running off, and he looks up in the cloud, and in the cloud he sees his father, and his father says, "Remember who you are." And we just did a video on remembering who you are. But what happened is, as Simba begins to rediscover who he is and what his purpose is and what his calling is, he begins, the noise on the inside of him, the desire on the inside of him becomes louder. The hunger for him to be the king becomes louder. The desire that he has to lead the people becomes greater, and it begins to push out of him more of what he needs in order for him to ascend to the place he's supposed to be in. And then this is when we talk about the mantle that's inside of you, the anointing, the purpose that is in you, the desire that is in you. It contains gifts. It contains talents. It contains abilities. It contains special operations. You know, when you get in the heat of something and you need something more than what you already have, there's something inside of you that pushes that more out. That's the mantle. And when you get comfortable using and operating from that position, you begin to see where the more you use it, the more you operate from it, the greater the opportunities become. The more you begin to step into and walk into your purpose of who you're called to be, because your mantle pulls you towards your mandate. Your mantle and your mandate are working together to bring you into a greater purpose of you, greater version of you. And when you begin to walk in your greater purpose, when you begin to see that greater version, you begin to see how those two things begin to work together to bring you into a greater room. And so we have to really begin to just as Simba remembered who he was, remembered his purpose, remembered his desire, remember the entire design of who he's supposed to be, and he begins to run back towards that. The more you begin to see the situation, the conditions, the circumstances begin to change. And you see just how great it is, because when Simba ascends to the throne, the rain comes. And rain is a symbol of prosperity. And then everything that had dried up and had been left for dead begins to become green again. And this is what our life purpose is. Our life purpose is to make our ecosystem, our environment, like the redwood, green and plush and prosperous around us. And everything around us should prosper because we're prospering. And your gift, be using your gift in your space makes greater room. Using your gift in your space makes greater room for you and brings you before great men. And it's so important that we have to understand that no matter what happens in our life, when we're walking in our purpose, when we're walking in our calling, when we're walking in our mandate, that the mantle slowly opens and the toolkit slowly begins to open, and you begin to have operation of things you didn't even know you were able to do. Because your mantle hides a lot of who you are on the inside of it. It's so good. This is so good. We may have tried manifestation techniques. And repeating different mantras and didn't quite get the results we were hoping for. Don't be discouraged. Don't throw in the towel. Don't give up. We all have been given a path to an extraordinary place, to an extraordinary life, but it's locked away and buried inside of our secret place called our mantle. Our mantle. I was just telling you about the mantle. The mantle. Yes. Our mantle. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. Our mantle on our life, or our purpose for our life. What I mean is inside of each of us. For a matter of fact, all of us, there is a meant to be. For some of us, this meant to be is maybe a several-fold layer of possibilities. These possibilities center around our willingness, our ability, our capability to use our gifts. Most people look at a calling or a vocation as a vocation or a ministry and think that people preaching and performing other ministry activities, but our calling is much deeper than that. Our calling is our connection to our meant to be. And inside of our calling is a multitude of gifts and talents that accentuate and enhance our being. All of this is wrapped nicely inside of our mantle or our storehouse for our being. As we discussed the three parts of the man, the outermost man, the outer man, and the inner man, we learned that the connecting and engaging people with our inner man made for a more rewarding and memorable experience for all involved. Why? Because we're using our mantle to connect. And our gifts and our callings are beginning to come out. Our talents are beginning to come out, and they begin to reverberate on the outside just as much as they reverberate on the inside. And those who connect with us are now able to connect with us on a deeper level with the greater opportunity and have a greater experience. Yes. Yes, and we're discussing today, and it is through the journey of our discovering and ultimately becoming that we unlock our inner man and open the mantle's toolkit of gifts and talents. The more we are willing to operate in this arena, the farther down the road we are traveling towards our life's calling and fulfilling our purpose and becoming what we are meant to be. And I want you to really begin to have that in your mind, to really begin to store that in your mind. Meant to be. I am meant to be. I am meant to be. And then when you begin to say, I am meant to be, put whatever you want to put past. I am meant to be a king. I am meant to be a doctor. I am meant to be a lawyer. I am meant to be whatever it is you desire. Put that behind your meant to be. And then begin to move in that meant to be. The more comfort and confidence we gain in using our gifts and our talents, the more opportunities we will be presented with which to use them. The more doors will open to bigger rooms and even greater opportunities to use our gifts. Operating in our gifts soon makes our life unrecognizable as we transition from level to level with each opportunity. And we talked about going up the elevator. We talked about going up and how the elevator goes, and continue to rise and rise and rise. And each time it rises, we understand that the next level, the floor, the ceiling of the last level is the floor for the next level. And as you're moving more and more in your gifts and in your callings and in your talents, using your talents, you begin to understand that the more you use your gift, the greater the expansion of your gift gives you opportunity to even more. And it becomes intimidating at times because you don't know what to expect. But nevertheless, you have to move. You have to operate. You have to perform. Because it's required of you. To whom much is given, much is required. And it's not in our purpose to live a less than life when we have greater than opportunities. And so today, understand that as we're talking about mantles and space, making rooms, you're obligated to yourself and to those that are expecting you, those that are waiting for you to be the greatest version of you. It's an obligation you have. There's no pressure behind it because it's you pushing you to be a better you. When you bring anything outside of that into the equation, you add pressure to it. There's no pressure because it's you pushing you to be a greater you. That's it. And when you operate under those realms, under those dynamics, it becomes easier for you to do it. And so today I want you to understand, I want you to join me in understanding and discovering your mantle and beginning to use the gifts and the talents and the callings inside of your mantle for a better life for you. but also to make life better and easier for others around you. Because again, like I said, this is you pushing you to be a better you. And this is me with my hand out in front of you to help you. But it all starts and ends with you. What you want, what you desire, what you hope for, everything circles and is encapsulated in you. This is Coach Vic, Spawning Your 40. Thank you for sharing, and subscribing. Thank you for watching these videos. Thank you for the encouraging emails and notes that you guys are leaving and sending. I really appreciate each and every one of you. And know that we are only trying to be the best version of ourselves. We're only striving for that purpose, for that opportunity to be a better version of me. And that's it. Nothing more. There's no pressure. But walk in the rooms that are prepared for you, so those that are waiting for you can benefit from the experience of being around you and connecting with you. God bless you. Have a good day today. And like, share, and subscribe to the videos. And know that Coach Vic is always here to help you to be a better version of yourself. Have a good day. God bless you.